Put a glass in my hand, drop a few of them ice cubes you got over there in it. Pick up that bottle of scotch and make believe that these 3 fingers I'm holding up are super fat, and keep that bottle next to the glass and pull up a chair. Sit across from me. But before you sit, grab a glass and that ice bucket and pop a squat at the table. We're gonna have a sit and have a drink. Along with any drink, it's gonna have a story. If we had a fire going, it would look nice and reflected in the glass, the amber colors dancing in waves across our faces, the scotch doing a little song and dance. I say scotch because bourbon is for when you need to unwind. Whiskey is for when it's been a week and you need a release. Scotch, though, scotch is for when you need to clear the slate. Scotch is for having a talk, for relieving oneself of a burden. Nothing takes the weight off of the shoulders and the vice grip on your heart like a nice glass or 10 of scotch. Let that sweet, strong, bitter, warm, the pain of it going down your gullet be the lubrication of the pathways of communication. Get a little something in you. I got a little thing or 3 to say, and when we're done, we'll pour some more. Isn't it amazing how symphonic resonance can crack open your dam, spilling everything you got out for the world to see? What I mean to say is, why is music that thing that makes you fall apart? Come to think of it, it's not just music, it's fabric, a smell, a seamlessly unimportant everyday trinket. Sometimes your history is there, right there in front of you to see. Music, fabric, smells, these trinkets, they make your history play out in your mind so vividly you can swear you were there. You can smell the grass outside. Sometimes it is a smell, like the smell of cooking grease from a fryer. It makes a lot of stuff come up. I think about sitting with him on a golf cart, hearing the music playing, both of us sweating, holding a cup of coffee with a little so-called Dutch courage in it, watching the crowds walk by, all the happy people, all the families. A feeling of pride crests upon my chest. We did it. We, my friend and I. I can feel his hand on my shoulder, the 3 taps on my shoulder. I can hear his voice. What he says isn't important. It's the sound of his voice, the faint echo of it in my head, the temper of it. Sometimes it's just that. Sometimes it's other things. Sometimes having a drink does it. Classic rock does it. Old movies, black and white movies. The ones where they seem to glow when you watch them. They have a texture to them and an ideal to it. But you aren't quite sure what it is. The crackle of the sound. He was the one who showed me. He was the one who showed me. I saw a black and white movie version of Hamlet and I started to read the plays. He gave me my passion. He gave me what I crave the most. He gave me a pathway to find myself, and so many don't have that. So many are lost and adrift out there, bouncing around, vagabonds on the tracks of life, pushing themselves around in a desperate search, a hopeless wonder about who they are until they find that thing that strikes them in the head, that removes the barriers, that forces open their mind, and they can finally have a sense of balance. I got that when I was young. Little kid sitting there, marveled by a British guy with my birthday making me laugh with no sound. A big guy whose every tone and gesture makes me laugh, no matter how many times I see it, made me think, I want to make people laugh. Gave me a sense of myself. I felt this click, this switch that was flipped, this surge of electricity flowing throughout me, and I never turned back. I may have strayed, but that's on me. I failed in those moments. But in those memories, I see myself in my future because it's the same pathway, the same roadway, the same highway of life, and the exits and the detours, all the paths, all around me. I can see it all. I can see and believe he is on the road with me, guiding me. Or maybe he isn't guiding me. Maybe he's just with me. Maybe he's just along for the ride, and he gave me a sense of who I was. As I got older, he did too. He showed me more movies. He showed me history, music. He showed me how to fix a car. He made me. He showed me how to be a man, how to love your wife with everything you have in you. And while you are loving her, keep searching for more to give her. Keep looking for that love in your heart to keep pouring onto her, because she is yours and you are hers. Protect her, guide her, listen to her, hear her. Don't just listen, but fucking hear her. Look at her. Just at her. She is yours. Of all the people in the world, of all of time, she is the one who said yes. She is the one you owe everything to, no matter what. You stand by her side. You stand there in good times and in bad. You stand there and never forget she is yours. You watch her with wonder. You touch her and know she is the most precious thing in the world to you. No money, no gold, no jewels, no level of power or authority will ever, fucking ever be enough to take her place. She is your world. He was my teacher. He taught me that. He taught me a lot of things. Not just the stuff I'm telling, but he showed me a lot of things, and sometimes it was just by observation. Sometimes he didn't have to actually teach me anything. I just had to watch him do it. I wanted someone to look at me the way that she looked at him my whole life. I wanted to stand in the middle of a room and hear no sound but need to hold her and sway with her, because she is all I need to feel the rest. I wanted someone to melt in my arms the way she melted in his. I saw as he stood up when everyone else stayed seated. I saw as he said no. I saw as he said no when something fucked up was asked of him, no matter the reward. I learned to sleep on my pillow with nothing on my conscience. First time I hear that quote, something about evil men succeed when good men do nothing, was from him, and I was 6. I saw how his friends smiled when he walked into a room, when they stood to greet him. I saw when people didn't know what to do, how he would step forward. I wanted people to look at me the way that they look at him. I wanted them to see me and smile. I wanted them to greet me. I saw how he helped people he didn't know, whether it was a simple holding of a door or asking someone who looks upset if they're okay. Seeing the guy that no one notices. Look in the eyes when they're talking to you. I saw how when the chips were down, he smiled. I wanted to be a copy of him. I wanted to be him. I wanted my family to love me the way his loved him. I wanted to make him proud. I wanted to show him I was always listening, always watching. The second to last time I saw him, I hugged him and said, I love you, and he kissed my cheek and said, I love you too, break a leg. Last time I spoke to him, he told me he was proud of me, and he told me, to my dismay, don't be like me. What? What? Don't be like you? What do you mean, don't be like you? I thought this, but I didn't say it. He said to do what I wanted to do with my life. Don't do something because I have to. Don't do something because it's easy or comfortable. He said to follow my path. He didn't want to do what he was doing at the end. He wanted to restore cars like he used to. But he had a family, and a part of me always felt like he needed to do those things because he had some sort of old school mentality that said men do what they need to do. But he said to me, do what you want to do. Be true to yourself and be a good man, and you'll be all right. Then he said everything will be okay. And the last time I saw him was when I was looking over my mom and sister's heads as they melted into my chest and shoulder in a room of hundreds looking up at us, all of them sad and broken. And I stood there and I didn't break. I had to be a pillar of strength, not because I wanted to, but because there was nobody fucking else around. I got pushed around by a highway, lost on a few roads, but I got a feeling that I'm back on track now because I got that wife. I got that daughter. I got that family. And I got 20 years of memories and lessons. I got trinkets and watches and rings. I got pictures, and I got my heart. I got my conscience. I may not have my best friend and my mentor, my guardian. I may not have my father anymore, but I'm still here. And he made me, and I made it through, and I'm still here. I'm the man he made, and I ain't gonna give up. He told me to break a leg, and God fucking damn it, that's what I'm gonna do. I guess you can say this is part 2 of the story. This is a second part. I've gotten more in touch with my emotions lately. I think it makes me a better actor, trained in emotional recall and sense memory, effective memory, and all the method technique. About 3 or 4 other disciplines too, but every day walking about life, I never let it out. I never let it out. I'd feel it coming, triggered by various things, and now and then I'd let it happen, but not when there were people around. It's one thing to bring it up in myself when I have to on a stage or in front of a camera, because it's personal. It's with me, and the emotion is transferred to the character. It's a version of me, but not me. The me that you see, that I got it with that macho Greek thing, I guess, that American male thing that says men aren't supposed to cry, men aren't supposed to feel, men aren't supposed to do things. If they have an issue, they're just supposed to deal with it, and if they have a problem, they deal with it in private. Now, I'd see my hero get choked up every now and then, mostly at the stuff that chokes me up. But I never saw him cry. Ever. I know he must have at some point. Maybe when my sister was born, but I wasn't alive yet, so obviously I didn't see that. Maybe when I was born, but I was a useless newborn baby. I had no idea. Actually, I did see him cry once, only once. My mother told me and my sister that she had cancer. We cried because we were scared. A few days later, I was mowing the lawn, and he was washing the car, and I put the lawnmower away and helped wash the car. And when we were done, he asked me to grab him a cigar from his humidor. I brought him one in the backyard, and I asked him how he was doing. And he wondered why I asked, and I told him that since Mom was sick, I wanted to know how he was feeling. He told me he was scared. And he started to tear up, and his voice cracked. His face tightened up, and his lips quivered. He cried semi-stoically. He recovered himself and said he was sorry, and I said it was okay. I asked him why he was scared, and he said, if you're lucky, your wife is your life. Losing your wife is like literally losing your life. I'm so glad he wasn't around when she died. To know he was spared of the pain, it helps in small capacity. If I lost my wife would lose its spark, its purpose. I'd rather die than lose her. It would destroy me. I knew I found my wife when I couldn't imagine my life without her in it. When what my dad said about my mom perfectly reflected what my heart knew to be true. My mother told me she had cancer again in her ovaries and in her breasts, and it was spreading. She had blood clots, and the journey toward a healthy Bill was long. She told me not to worry. Then she said she was okay. When she said she was okay, I heard the tone of her voice. The tone was the same tone in her voice when she called me from Orlando at my dad's bedside and said, he is okay. He wasn't, so she wasn't. I was alone in the room. I was quiet. She was quiet, and I just said, okay. She said she loved me, and I told her the same. When we got off the phone, I cried. She just told me without telling me that she was going to die. The last time I saw her, she hugged me at the airport. I kissed her cheek, and I smelled her hair. I rubbed my face on her hair and wanted to get the feel of her hair on my face at least one more time. I rubbed my face against hers, a thing we did when I was little. I held her tight. I squeezed her. I smelled her jacket. I kissed her hand. She smiled at me and winked, and I winked back. I blew her a kiss and said I'd see her soon. 63 days later, I saw her again, but I couldn't hug her. I walked into that room and I saw her in a casket with a smirk on her face because of course, that would be the look on her face. I held her hand again, but it was cold, powdery. I touched her hair, I kissed her forehead, a thing I did often because she fit perfectly right here when I hugged her, ever since I was 14. I smelled the hairspray, and since she was always doing her hair, it just made me think of her even more. I saw her multiple times that day. Every time I did, I couldn't believe she was just lying there. I wasn't with her. I wasn't with her when she was out of it and most likely scared. I wasn't with her when she was in pain and confused. I wasn't with her when she was cold and lonely. I wasn't there. I was absent. But when I saw her 63 days before, I told her I was sorry. But she said I had a family and they were my priority. Even though I knew she wasn't upset or angry, I knew she didn't have any bad feelings, I still felt lost and confused and worthless. I wasn't getting the information I needed. For 2 months, I thought every day was the last day. I felt useless and hopeless. I felt like I failed, like I let her down. I failed my family, even though there was no reason to feel it. I guess it's why we have such a hard time explaining our feelings. They aren't rational, they just exist, and we are forced to deal with them. Have you ever lost someone and then immediately heard every song in the whole fucking world that was ever written that makes you feel them and remember them and forces the vault of emotion to open? Like, seriously, what the fuck? I'm sitting there with my wife and See You in Heaven starts playing, and I think about my parents dancing again. I think about them dancing on Christmas the morning before. Dancing on the Christmas before my father died. The last Christmas we were the four of us together. I thought about what I would do if I ever lost my wife and how I would feel broken and destroyed. I would feel lost and killed. I would feel nothing and everything all at the same time. I thought how they, my parents, are buried next to each other, each conveniently on their side of the bed, are there together. Just their bodies, but I know they are dancing together. I know they are together, and then another song played, and I don't know the name. It's a sad song in my head. It has the line, another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. I hear that song and I automatically smell my mom's hair. I feel her soft skin. I hear her cackle of a laugh. I smell my dad's cigar. I see the ratchet set under the hood. I think about the time sitting around looking at the Christmas tree in the darkness, just the lights and the eggnog. And I think about the times that make up the early chapters of my life, and I realize that it's okay. It's okay that she's gone because she is better off. She was so lonely, so alone. Even when she had me and my sister, and then my sister, and even when she had her entire family around her, even when they were just in tow, even when she was just helping to take care of the babies, if she was a babysitter, if she was other people, she was with neighbors, she was with families at the church, she was always around people, always doing something. She was alone because she didn't have my dad. My relationship with my mom had 3 different phases. First, mother and son. We were playful, crazy, wacky. She made a shirt for her and my sister that said, "I'm a Geo fan," and they would come to my plays. Mama would sit up with me when I couldn't sleep and watch old movies. She always supported me in my craft, but I always felt like it was a subtle support. And as I got older, I feel like she believed in me and knew that I could do anything, and she always would have my back, but she also wanted me to have something more stable, something more lucrative in my life. But not because she didn't support or believe in me, but only out of some sort of motherly protective instinct to make sure that I was okay. So I understand that when we had our second phase, the phase after my dad died, we weren't mother and son anymore, we were partners. She was left with no will to determine things, but she had me. Anytime my dad traveled since I was 16, I had the plan, in case of emergency. But before my dad died, he didn't sign the new will, so an emotionally distraught woman who had honestly changed since her cancer treatment, someone who was a little hard to deal with, was now in charge. I became a consigliere to my mother. Our relationship went from queen consort and heir apparent to queen and prime minister. I had to be a son and a brother and a father and a partner. The third phase was later on, after I had already gotten married and had a family of my own. I saw her face when she hugged my wife at our wedding, and I saw her smile when the wind blew, though there was no wind, and blew the balloons in the pool towards us. I saw her smile and laugh, and I heard her tone when she said she loved me. She said she was proud. She told me that she loved my wife, she loved my daughter, and she was happy for me. Towards the end, when the last time I saw her was around her birthday, and she told me she was proud of me, and she told me she loved me then too. I lost a lot in my life. I lost a lot of family. I didn't have a good relationship with the ones that were alive. They were arguments well before I was born, and then we moved, and it just seemed like it was just the four of us, and then just the three of us. And now there were still three of us. Last 6 years, 7 years now. Knowing my parents were with me, my guardians and mentors, my friends and my teachers, they were always with me, and I can see each new day with the knowledge I am the man my father raised, the artist my mother believed in, and the son that they were proud of. I love them and I miss them, but I have my tokens and my memories, and I have the lessons they taught me. So raise a glass and have a toast. Here's one for the road. To the fallen and the risen, to the loved ones, to the forgotten, to the ones we miss and the ones we will miss. To the loves of our lives, here's for the memories, here's for the laughs, the cries, the highs, the lows, the dancing, the love. Here is to the loves of our lives we hope we will never lose. Here is to the countless ones we love and miss. Here's to the memory. Here's one for the road. Find your path. Listen to your gut. Love your family. Support your friends. Actually support them. A like on Facebook doesn't mean fucking shit. May your ancestors be with you and guide you, and may the memory of your loved ones be with you forever. And there's one for the road.